No.
What's going on?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me call this meeting of the Darien Housing Authority to order. Attendance tonight, we have Jane Matthews, Susan Vogel. We have our new, what's the official title?
Yes, the property manager.
Property manager.
Here at the Heights of Darien, OCHH, Melanie Navarro, you might remember Melanie.
Hello, how are
She
you?
worked
Welcome.
here
Thank you.
Many years ago, a few years back, 2012, I believe it was. 13 and
And Matt Anderson from Imagineers and Todd McCutcheon from our partners in all of this ongoing. So we have, first on the agenda, we have the minutes from the meeting of March 26th. You all have received copies. Do I have any questions or comments? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Done. Moving right along, the next item on the agenda is the Old Town Hall Houses Paid Bills Report. I hope you all noticed that the Old Town Hall Houses Paid Bills Report is getting significantly smaller, which is why Peter is sorry he couldn't be here, but he wasn't terribly worried because he's our treasurer and normally these paid bills are the thing we look to him for expertise. There is one bill on the paid bills report this time because Old Town Hall is gone.
I know it's all.
Okay, so
Is it really?
we're not paying out any more bills for that facility. The facility is gone. Do I hear a motion to accept the paid bill report as submitted?
Second.
All in favor? Done. Moving right along, our facilities executive director's report.
Okay,
We're gonna do it.
I've done a little bit, I was going to introduce Melanie Navarro as
There we go.
property manager. She worked for us here at the Heights many years ago, and she's back. I'm very excited to be here. I shouldn't speak for you, I hope you
I
are.
am.
And we will have a meet and greet next week, next Tuesday night, I believe, evening. So you're all welcome, and we'll be spreading even more word about that, so please feel free to stop in. On the executive director's report, there's not too much to discuss. You know, spring has sprung. We are beginning the process of landscaping and doing exterior work and getting out there. Do some our annual power wash and things of that nature. The irrigation system will be back on, so we watch out for the sprinklers. Other than that, I don't see any Heights residents here, so I don't know if I'm talking to you, but that's the whole thing, of course. That's all I have.
That's good.
Yeah.
As always, no news is good news.
I get lots of good feedback from the landscapers, from the residents saying that they, do a good job. The mulch is put down neatly and correctly, and they blow things around. The only thing that I have heard is that on the posts around everyone's front porch, the columns, the three of them that I know of, the weed whacker has chipped it. I'm sure you've seen it. It's the styrofoam base, I think.
Constant
Yeah,
challenge.
everywhere. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I blame Joe.
I don't know.
I'll blame Todd for his
I
We should have had a base, protection on the base.
Yeah.
Yes, duly noted, and
Yeah.
and it's going to be a situation where we have to look towards replacement. Unfortunately, it's not. I don't know what to tell you, but it's not.
Yeah, no, you can see that they go around with the weed whacker and, you hit it and there you go.
Chips it.
Yeah. The only question I had, a couple residents asked is, does that affect the stability of it? I said, no, that it's perfectly stable, but
That's aesthetics.
yeah, that's what I thought. Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
The trim is decorative.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Yeah, you can
structural
see it
value
just
at all.
from- Yeah, if that's,
But
exactly.
we'll look into it.
But just, that's it.
Yeah, there's something else there to make sure that they can hit it and it won't chip.
Yeah.
It's,
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
It's gonna, even if you put something there 5 years later.
Yeah, yeah.
The Old Town Hall houses redevelopment. Mr. McCutcheon.
Things are still moving along, they're over there working away, and the closing is coming along as we speak. The first component with the infrastructure and site works, we hope will get resolved by next week. And then we're still shooting for the full closing in, probably right around June-ish. So things are proceeding. We're getting to the closing. The construction's continuing over there. And the sooner we get that over there, the better.
The only thing that I see going on over there is different colors of dirt piles every other day.
That is part of the process. You are correct.
Where do
They move around dirt, they crush dirt, but
Where are they getting the dirt from?
from the excavation of the buildings.
What?
Yeah, so the demolition itself created some,
You
and
don't
then they
get
crush,
dirt- you
and
don't
they
get
crush that
topsoil.
up.
You don't get topsoil from tearing down buildings.
Yeah, they run it through the spreaders and then it creates those dirt piles.
Every day there's a different pile of dirt there. Where's
Yeah,
it-
and if you actually spend some time on the site, which we really don't want people, we're not encouraging people.
He lives across the street, that's why.
I understand, but
Two times a day.
what they did was is they tore the buildings down, a certain amount of the material that came from the buildings got crushed on site, and then got sorted, and then got sifted, and got placed, what could we use again on the site? What was going to be used for sub-materials for the parking lots? What was going to be used for a variety of different activities on the site?
I don't believe that.
The dirt itself, all the grass areas had to come up. All of that was again crushed, sorted, sifted.
No.
What do you believe is happening? They're not moving dirt around.
I appreciate that you don't believe what we're saying, but I am telling you,
I can't believe
for
it.
the camera and for everybody else, that's exactly what is going on.
Correct.
We are not artificially bringing material onto that site. We're not looking at
Right, at the end of the day, material will come off of that site because it's an export site. There's more fill than we need there.
That's correct. And
Is
when
it
we
going
start
to be a
digging,
basement?
No, it will not be basement. It'll be slab on grade, but they still need to dig down a
I
certain
know they
amount.
do have to go down. I was just wondering if they were going to, is everybody going to have their own water?
Yes.
Oh, because I was thinking maybe,
yeah, no, there's no basement proposed for this building.
yes.
But there will start, we will fairly soon start seeing excavation on the site because we'll start digging for the footings. The footings have to go below grade and that work will proceed.
I was just thinking it was going to be a big basement, you have to pour cement and all that.
There will be a big couple of holes in the ground and we'll
I
pour
know you
cement,
pour it beforehand, but I
But no
thought
basement,
but no basement. We're not digging out a hole for a foundation as such.
Parking garage.
Not gonna happen. Not going to happen.
That's another issue.
As you know, the flagpole is gone. It is waiting for installation at its new site, but there's going to be some work done to refurbish it before it actually gets installed at the new site. And I was informed today, I did not realize this, the ambulance is gone.
Oh, wow.
They have moved the ambulance off the site. We are very excited about that.
Where did they move it to?
I have not been officially notified by the Board of Selectmen. I'm awaiting that official notification. But trust me, I have on very reliable sources. I got it from the lawyers. And it is my understanding that they will, the ambulance, this is the paramedic ambulance, will stay at post 53 during the day, and the night shift will be at Stanford Emergency Medical Services. There was concern about having an adult sleeping at post 53. So to resolve that issue, they will be using the facilities at Stanford Emergency Medical Services, which is where we got the paramedics from in the first place. So until we're done with construction, that's the year. And by the way, just so everybody knows, our development partners had come up with an alternative if that was not going to work, how to keep the ambulance on site, but relocate a portion of the fence to allow the ambulance to be outside the fence and therefore give us the ability to lock that site when you're not working on the site. It was an option, one we weren't particularly happy with because it narrowed the entrance to the construction site, which we weren't interested in doing. But if all else had failed, there was a plan B. As it turns out, they've come up with a different solution and we don't have to worry about it. But the gate now is able to be closed at night without walking in the ambulance.
We'll let them know.
That's progress.
So that's effective immediately?
As far as I know, the word I got is, again, I'm giving you this and telling everybody what the caveats are. I have not received official confirmation from Town Hall. I did get it from Town Council that this is the resolution. Whether they actually moved it today or, and what the status of the little Quonset hut garage that they put up there. I can't tell you that because I don't know.
So don't lock the fence tonight, maybe.
Well, if the ambulance is still there, they won't lock the fence. If the ambulance is not there, they will. It's just that simple. But anyway, all of these things indicate progress, and we are moving along, and we're happy with that.
That's good news.
Anything else? Any other comments, questions about Old Town Hall houses? Okay. Moving right along, old business.
Old business. So,
Signs.
So I circulated some signs that are in production here. We're looking to put some better or
So you got
more signage here at the heights, directing people to certain buildings that are a little off the beaten path. And these are drawings of them. And the placement of them, obviously, you're not going to take a walk on the tour along the site, but it will be directing you towards those areas. And obviously the leasing office as well. So hopefully we'll start with this, and hopefully this alleviates any issues or confusion. It can be a little overwhelming to call this property as to where to go.
Do we have a time frame?
Time frame of them being completed by the next meeting.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
The Alameda commemorative sign, I've personally taken that one on, and as I was discussing earlier, just looking for something different, better. And we're going to continue to work on that, and we'll have, we'll be putting it here in the community room, we will have a ceremony for it. I just wanted a nicer sign than what we were looking at. So that'll take a little more time. A realistic time frame on that ceremony is probably due to the summer or fall, because the summer's a busy time of year. So the fall will be the time that we'll have a gathering perhaps before the meeting, and pay respects to Mr. O'Neill as we put a commemorative sign here in the community room. And I'll circulate a proof of that as well.
Have we discussed with anybody the disposition of the original sign itself?
The original sign, as you know, is in the Joe's shop over there. I don't know.
We just so everybody knows, there's a bit of a problem. It's huge.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. I think we need to close the loop on
The original thought of the conversation was there a way to take that original sign, mount it on the wall? Well, it would take up that entire wall. The sign's massive. On the other hand, it's historical, and there was a reason for it having been created, and why this whole area was originally considered Allen O'Neill, and we don't want to lose that. So I think what I will do is make a couple of phone calls to either the VFW or the Historical Society and see if either have an interest in a permanent location for that sign. The reason for the VFW is because both of the two gentlemen, Allen and O'Neill, were both veterans, and that's why this was done.
And I think we also discussed why the sign would be problematic on the property. If we were, the one place we kind of thought it could go, or talked about going, was like out on the road, which would just create confusion as to the fact that this is no longer named Allen O'Neill.
The sign,
and it's would not be appropriate to.
if you look at the sign was never intended to name the property. The sign clearly indicates it was commemoration. It was the road was called Allen O'Neill, named after these two gentlemen. The property, the complex became known as Allen O'Neill because Allen O'Neill Drive was the road. So, and again, putting this large sign up is just going to, it will be confusing, and it's not, but again, we don't want to lose the historical value of the sign. If there is any, I'll check with the VFW and I'll check with the Historical Society and see if either of those two organizations.
And thank you for taking this on, because, I mean, it was something that came up from residents, and I think, I mean, I'm appreciative of the fact that you are putting so much time and effort into finding a really good way to recognize the
Yeah.
history of this, this
Yeah.
community in this area, so
Right.
thank you.
I couldn't agree more
Absolutely.
with you, that's
Thank
why I
you.
want to take it on.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, moving right along. Security locks.
The last thing was the security lock, which was a concern on the doors, the French doors that we have in some of the units here at the first floor. We put the lock in and it seems to be working, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
And is that something that a resident can request if they want that security lock? Is that?
But we're hoping to kind of get some time between, make sure it works out well,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
looks like it's gonna work out well, so
Okay.
yes, is the answer.
Okay.
One other item under old business that we talked about last time, that's not on the agenda, but still it's an old business issue, and that's the question of grills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've gone over this before, and what happened was, we're not anti-grill around here. It's just the state that came up with mandates saying you can't have a grill. It was a terrible fire caused by a grill in an apartment complex, a condo complex actually, where they parlayed that into apartment complexes. So they said no grills. So that said, we can't allow our residents to have grills on their decks. But now that the conversation shifted to a community grill. So what we're doing is we're looking into, we did this before, but we're going to do it again. Because before, the statute had just came into effect, there wasn't a lot of laws out there. We wanted to be trailblazers. So now we have some, we can follow a path and we can figure out what the best way to go about this is. And we are looking into, exploring an opportunity. We want our residents to enjoy something, the ability to have, the ability to grill and to be outside and with their neighbors. We need to make sure it's safe. We need to make sure that, there's a cost to that we can, handle that. And so right now we're working to just figure everything out. So it's going to take some time on this because we're starting with insurance, then we're going through zoning, then we're going through everything. But we see the vision and we would like to see this through, but that we might hit a stumbling block. We'll figure it out.
So it's probably safe to say, just to set expectations, that this is something that will not happen this year. Okay, perfect. I think it's
Because
almost
the other
like
thing
a
is
sense
we
of
would not
time.
have it open for the winter.
Right.
Most communities that have grills have them closed for the winter time, so we would be looking at that for next year.
Great. Thank you.
And I did just as I talked with the farmers, and there's just no way, the way the rules are, to allow individual grills. We're either bumping against the fire regulations, which means they're too close to the buildings, or we're putting them far enough away from the buildings and they become a problem when we go to do lawn maintenance. So there's no happy medium and anything you can do in between. So we'll leave it to you to.
I'll put all the facts together.
Again, we're not the only ones faced with this situation, and as the law has now been in effect long enough, other places are beginning to
I
deal
wonder
with it.
how, I'm sorry, Joe, Avalon has a grill area,
Yes, I do.
and I wonder how they.
I can tell you, because I live in a building just like Avalon, Harbor Point, and
Yeah.
Stanford. So they have the pool area and the grill area, right? They do have a common charge fee, which is $65 for the users of the pool and the grills. They do have a pool monitor, so he monitors the grills and the pool. First come, first service. You're not allowed to bring excessive amount of food and be a low amount of time. You're not allowed to rent the grills. And they have a porter who serves the grills every day before they open up at 10 a.m. and they're open from 10 to 6. So it's a lot of,
Yeah.
You
it's
know,
a lot of service.
I think it's just helpful that you're going to the effort of, really, of like investigating this, and we can come to a conclusive answer.
That news what Avalon thing was concerned. We
It's
certainly
a-
get it for her.
Actually, she lives in Avalon, so you know about Avalon Girls too?
Yeah, like right outside my apartment, but that.
Yeah, she's lived the same.
She lives in Avalon too.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful thing, it's staffed, it's the whole
Right,
thing.
right.
Yeah, and I see
Especially for the weekends, they definitely need a monitor person who monitors the grills for the first come, first service. And then the porters who has to.
we unfortunately don't have a budget for that one, so we have to live within.
I think it's important to just close the loop on the inquiry, set reasonable expectations as to what kind of a time frame we're looking at here, and, you know, again, thank you for exploring this as an option.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can put something together.
but at least at the end of it, we'll know all the, you know, yeah.
Yeah, and if the question comes up again, we have the answer.
We have
You know,
Yeah.
it's not stagnant, we're working on it.
Mhm.
Close under old, open under new. Anybody got any new business for us?
I
Anything?
do.
Go right ahead.
I've noticed, and it's been brought to my attention, that the tenants that we have on West Avenue are parking on grass.
I noticed that over the weekend, but then said they're happening during the week. It was a busy weekend around here.
Yeah, it's happening during the week.
Okay.
The grass is completely torn up on both sides of the property. I do understand that, you know, we have.
The new tenant, they do have 3 cars.
They have 3 cars, and I'm sympathetic, but you can't park on the grass, you know. It makes the property look awful. They're gonna have to park, we've had this discussion, I know before, they're gonna have to park around the corner.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh, yeah.
figured. The car show.
Yeah,
That's my cousin.
yeah, because it looks very bad, and, you know, then I hear complaints about it.
Do we have one there?
We could potentially have room in that back lot there, or we could talk about Ashley Hill expansion.
The
Insurance.
The other thing I have is the request, and this was, I got, Judge Gone, the garbage area between building 5 and 12, this one kind of right here.
The gates,
No, the gate's fine, no. That garbage area tends to be used a lot for whatever reason, and those bins are very frequently full. So the request is, can we get another bin in there?
Perhaps another pickup. Let's write that down, take a look at that.
Yeah, you know, either another bin or.
I think another bit would fit in there.
I think that's right.
I think there's room.
Height-wise, maybe, but maybe not width-wise.
Yeah.
Okay, let's let.
But I mean, just to look, for whatever reason, that area gets used a lot.
it wasn't with the new movements that they just moved in?
No, I mean, I've heard this complaint before, for whatever reason, and Joe has said too, that he's gone a couple times and it's gotten a little trashy in there. So we thought maybe either, you know, another bin.
Maybe a larger bin,
Or maybe, yeah, something.
Let us take a look at that and we'll come up with a solution. Make sure that's a monthly thing that's gonna, let us take a look.
Yeah, and not a crisis, but just, you know,
Yeah,
to
not
avoid
pleasant.
problems. And then the other suggestion is that the hallways particularly in buildings 1 through 4 are very stark, very plain looking. And the suggestion was, can the office put up pictures? Can we decorate those walls, not with, you know, not stuff in the hallway, but something to make those hallways look a little more friendly and warm? You know, something generic, obviously not, not pictures that are going to upset anybody, but my suggestion,
Hope.
My suggestion is that all the pictures that are in the current leasing office are all pictures I got for free at the swap shop, and I put them up when I was there.
Yeah,
Or Linda, who have to give pictures to? You don't like it, who brought them?
Oh, but you don't have to give them to me.
I know.
No, they were all, when I was there, I thought the walls were a little plain, so I could get lots of free pictures at the swap shop, because people are in town frequently closing out a business or something, and they have lots of, generic pictures. So anyway, I put those pictures up. I don't want them, but my point is, I can get from the swap shop free framed art that, somebody could peruse and be sure that it's, appropriate, and we can do it for free.
In apartment complexes, it's a delicate subject,
Yeah,
what we're putting up in those walls.
Right.
and we already had 3 tenants in 3 different buildings, 9, 20, and other buildings up there, where they did decorating. It was beautiful, like picture frames and nice decorations, so the whole we will look presentable, and we actually did it, we had them remove them.
Yeah, well, we want to make a little beautiful space and home for them, for everyone. So it's, there's a balancing act to it.
Right.
So, and you certainly have to have control over it, because you could, see like.
Exactly.
I think that would get a lot of control.
It could certainly.
Yeah, I think it would be something we would
Maybe
put
some,
up.
maybe some tasteful,
Yeah,
pictures
yeah,
of,
yeah.
former property properties to that effect.
I just think that the hallways they are stark and they're, you know.
Let me circle back to this issue
Okay,
at the
okay.
next meeting under old business.
Okay, yeah, and just see if, you know, maybe something's doable. All right, that's it, that's all I've got.
That's enough.
But I know.
That's enough. Anything else, anybody else have anything? I'm not aware of anything else.
No.
I think we're in pretty good shape right now. Residents associations. Anybody from the Heights got anything? Nobody from the Heights here. Anybody from the Old Town Hall houses, you folks?
A couple of us.
You're here, have you got any comments? Yes.
No, I don't have a comment.
I have questions, but, you know, I can only remember one right now.
Go ahead.
If and when this project ever gets completed, I'm concerned because when I first moved into that place years ago, we always had a parking problem. And I was wondering if the new place is gonna have assigned parking places.
No, we do not intend to have
Because
assigned
the way I-
parking. If it becomes an issue, we will look into alternatives.
I think you should start looking into it now.
What we need to
Because by the time
understand,
it's finished, from what I can see from the plans, you got 51 parking places and 55 tenants. So already you're 3 short.
there's 62 spaces.
Well, I don't know, I counted the spots on the plans and there's like
There's 62
62.
spaces, and what we'll do is, so as each
Are you
resident.
counting the,
Handicaps?
no, are you
That's
counting the
Those 53.
what do you call it, tent?
We have some of the swing
Boy
spaces for
Scout
that.
tent, or whatever it is?
Yes, those are included in the.
Oh, you're counting those too?
Correct.
We're not gonna have those because that place is gonna be there again, or no?
They may use 1 or 2 of them, so right now they use 2 of them. But so what we'll do is, as each resident comes in, they will let us know whether or not they have a vehicle, they'll register that vehicle, we'll be able to get an account as to how many residents have vehicles, and the question that will also be asked is whether or not people have caretakers or other people visiting on a daily basis. So again, we can be able to better determine how many cars are going to be visiting the property routinely. And then we will have, the town has made a change on the post road where they have parallel parking in front of the building. And then, so that will allow for visitor parking and excess parking along the front of the building.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And then Academy Street, which is typically full during the day, but during evening times, it is typically open.
No,
Academy it is.
no.
I used to drive there.
There's a 2-hour parking limit on Academy
It
Street.
says,
And we were lucky because the police never bothered us because they knew we were old. So they would let us park
well,
there.
it's going to be old still.
We're gonna be even older.
So what we're gonna do is evaluate.
Well, you got a 2-hour parking limit, so you
We
can know.
will look at what the parking regulations are on Academy Street.
On the post road is 1 hour.
If need be, we will go to the town and have those timed parking things assigned for specific times during the day, which is very common in this area. You would say 1 hour parking from 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon, and not later than that, so that at night those parking spaces can be used for other
It
purposes.
says that on the post road already.
Vaughn, we are going to continue to look at what the situation is, and as we get more and more information, we'll react accordingly. One of the other things that we'll be asking, not only how many people
Let
have...
the girls and get up.
There's no more information that you need. There's a sign there that says 1 hour parking from 8 to 5.
I'm telling you, we believe...
Academy Street's 2 hours, period.
I'm telling you, we believe we have enough parking on the site for the residents.
Then you say that now, but what happens when we move in and we
you are
don't have enough
telling me
parking?
that we don't. And I am sitting here telling you that we will do everything we can to monitor that situation as we get closer to occupancy. I'm not going to make up numbers today for residents that we haven't even gotten into
Well,
the
my
facility.
original question was, are you going to assign parking?
We are not planning, as of right
Well, I
this
think you better
moment,
look into it and have that done by the time we moved in.
As of right this moment, we are not contemplating a
Well, I
sign.
think you should look
parking
into it,
space.
so when we do move
Right,
in, we don't have to,
we're gonna be appropriate.
not wait till the last minute
I
after
have
everybody's in there and
heard
decide,
you.
oh, we need a signed parking place. You do it
I have
now.
heard you loud and clear.
Well, I'm glad you did.
I am telling you, as
And I
of
don't
right
believe you,
now,
just like you told me about the dirt, I don't believe you.
you are well within your rights not to believe me.
Wait a minute, one guy at a time. Go ahead.
Oh, no, Joe finished.
You are well within your rights not to believe me.
I know that.
Giving you the truth. If you choose not to believe the truth, that's not my problem, that's your problem.
Well, maybe you think it's the truth, but maybe it's not.
Excuse me.
You're
We
excused.
are, we are
You
on
wanna leave
television,
that?
we are in public, and I want to make very clear, you are
Don't start
sitting...
yelling at me, don't
Excuse
raise your voice at me. I
Excuse
can tell you that right now.
Excuse me.
Don't point your finger at me
Excuse me.
either.
We are sitting here in a public meeting.
I said, don't point your finger at me.
Excuse me.
I said, don't
Would
point your
you
finger at me.
kindly
Put your finger down and then
Give
you
me
can
an
talk.
opportunity to finish my sentence.
Of course I'm not. You're not doing what I asked you to do. Why should I let you
Because
finish?
this is my meeting.
Oh, excuse me, it's not mine?
No,
I don't belong
I
here?
happen to be, I didn't say that.
Oh, all
I
right.
happen to be the
So how
chair.
could be your meeting then?
Vaughn,
Yeah, maybe see this.
I can
What?
restrict attendance at this meeting.
Oh, all right, then what, restrict me, I dare you.
Can I just interject?
I said one at a time.
Enough.
Excuse me, I happen to be the chairman. I'm asking you now to be quiet. And if you're not going to be quiet, I will ask you to leave.
Ask me to leave.
Leave. We will continue to look at the parking situation in the town hall houses. One of the other pieces of information that we will...
And I will add, just real quick to that, is it was a similar situation here where everyone thought that assigned parking was necessary. I think, you know,
Yeah.
Jane, you can probably attest to it,
Right.
that everyone has been able to accommodate with the existing parking without having assigned spaces.
Yeah, they're
Parking
very-
is a
really well.
very sensitive issue on the development of apartment complexes where you live. I get it, we get it. I was hoping to be able to speak to that. But I can assure you that we're putting enough parking spots there for everyone. And we obviously going to continue to make adjustments and the street parking in the town. Unfortunately, we weren't able to configure that.
We,
So, I'm sorry, how many parking spaces were there originally with the building as it stood?
Good question. Not enough.
Okay,
With the ambulance there.
okay.
But we have a different layout and different setup, which Todd can speak better to.
I guess I was just curious to know how many more will we have?
It was not enough there, it was about at least 8 of them that didn't drive.
So, okay, I understand
Present
that
with
there's
their
not
car.
enough parking. It might just be helpful to like stave off like future situations like this, is to like, how many were there? How many are proposed, how many will be there now? And then add in, I think it's important, those notes that somebody made about how many there might be out in front, how many are on Academy Street, and then we can
Sure.
look at what the time restrictions are and what we might
And
need to do. And I understand what you're saying, that we
park,
should,
make it part of the street.
we can't plan for what we don't know.
It's
And
clear.
and we don't know how many people are going to need a parking space, but at least we might have the information about how much potential we have.
in addition to that, one of the questions we'll be asking, as we accumulate information about residents, we'll be asking how many of those cars have handicap parking permits on them.
Right.
Because that's another issue that we're going to have to deal with.
Yes.
If we have, this is a senior facility, if we have, normally, the rules call for X number of handicap parking spaces, given the total number of spaces in the parking lot. We may find, because of the mix of residents, that we need to have more than that. And so, while we will not we are not contemplating right now assigning specific parking places to specific tenants, by virtue of the fact that some tenants may have handicapped parking stickers, they may find themselves parking in specific places because those will be designated for handicap parking.
I really think he's so used to just one parking place.
Yes,
And
yes.
as I took it, I used to get yelled at, you know? I think it's just the way he is.
Well, and the
He
situation.
doesn't like change.
Well,
There's a lot of
the
people
situation
like that. I
is
appreciate
stressful.
that.
Yeah, and it's just, we appreciate the fact that this is just not the ideal situation for a lot of people, and that it's stressful not being where you were before. So I totally get that.
It's a completely different.
He wants a spot.
You can't just put a big stone outside and say, this is my spot, you know?
It does work that way. And I don't ever mean to get in an argument with Vaughn, but he
Oh, I
insists.
lived upstairs from him.
He insists that he will continue talking until somebody stands up to him.
He
And I
doesn't like
can't
any
allow a public
noise.
meeting to do
If
that.
you had a little room away in the corner, that's where we should really go, because no matter who stays up above them, they're
We're
always
not,
going
we're
to
not
have
gonna, we're not
problems.
gonna deal with specific tenants. The parking issue is continued, we will continue to review it as we move along. Any other comments from
Huh?
residents?
Could some of this tape be edited before it goes on?
No, it goes out, because that's exactly the way it is.
Did you get it?
No, it goes out.
Gavel to gavel.
That's the way it is.
Oh, God.
Okay.
If you flush the toilet
And
too
if
much.
my other commissioners
you
have
know,
problems
it's
with
just
the way I
one of those-
conduct the meeting, they can
He doesn't like
say so.
change.
We'll
He
change
wants
the way
to
we
be
do things
himself.
until such time. It is my meeting.
Okay.
I will run it the way I see fit. Okay, moving right along. No other comments from the residents? In that case, we will adjourn the public meeting. We will move into executive session for the discussion of contract issues. We will not return from the executive session, the public session, to vote on anything. There's nothing going on.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.